School stories. I want to talk about my history teacher because they were all insane. But I want to focus on specifically my favorite history teacher, if not my favorite teacher, period. My teacher, AP. So let's get on with it. For simplicity, we'll call him Mr. G because he was the GOAT. Mr. G was in his late 30s and he was a father through and through, which means he told dad jokes whenever he could. And I mean, whenever. Hey guys, want to listen to my mixtape? It's pretty lit. Hey Long, why the long face? He was also very encouraging of us making terrible puns, especially if it was in our projects. Talking about Russia, you bet there was a Putin joke in there. Talking about Hawaii, we already know somebody's gonna say King Kamehameha over here. He was also very athletic, having taken Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and being a coach for a school track team. On a related note, if you didn't already love this man, he had a tiny kid bicycle with training wheels, and the bicycle was so small compared to him. Combined with the bicycle being a unicorn with tassels and pink, this was like seeing a monkey on a unicycle. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, how Mr. G broke one of my classmates' crutches. Classmate was in crutches cause she broke her leg, like you do, and Mr. G asked if he could see her crutches, and she agrees, and Mr. G uses the crutches as balancing beams. He bends his legs, and Mr. G is not a small man. He is 6'4", ex-football, and weighed around 300 pounds, I don't know. And so after balancing around on her crutches for a few seconds, he starts to walk with them, and not how people normally walk with crutches. He hops with them, and he is so heavy he shakes the entire room, this absolute madman. He stops after a while. I see him do this, and I ask my friend, can I do the same? And she says, it's alright. So I take the crutches, I jump around a little while. I'm a small guy, so nothing really happens. And the class comes around, and Mr. G is doing it again, except this time something goes terribly wrong. He's jumping around, and one of the crutches snaps in two. Mr. G manages to catch himself on a desk nearby. Fortunately, nobody is hurt, except for the crutches are irreparable. I tried to fix them myself, but the metal was ripped in a way that they could not be fixed or salvaged in any way possible. My friend had to walk to her class without any crutches. Fortunately, her insurance covered it. She returned the next day with a new pair that my teacher was not allowed to touch.